Alright guys, let's do a bow and then let's get running round.
Yes, good hustle, keep it going.
Are we listening? Are we listening? We're back.
Hello again everyone, welcome to Dadjitsu once again. Here we are on Friday with Baffled Meal, as usual. We had a bit of a drama, didn't we?
Yeah, someone, some rapscallion took our food.
Unwittingly, I think.
Well, that's how it seemed, unless it was all a setup from the start.
Maybe she's just trying her arm, chancing her arm. And she's a regular. Yeah, we ordered...
bitch.
Honestly, we ordered the beef ragu, as is our right.
Yes.
And it got given to somebody else, and she went off to the point where two of the staff members had to run off and try to find her. They didn't find her, so they gave us a Reuben sandwich instead, which looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with that.
Good on you, Baffled, for doing the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done.
World. Before we get into that, actually, let's hear from our sponsors.
Okay. I'm going to shove the pickle in my mouth. You carry on.
Grapplers. So.
Mr. Bassett's.
Mr. Bassett's Grappler's Soap. Excellent products. Keep yourself clean. Don't die of disease.
Think of your training partners.
Yeah.
Get involved in Mr. Bassett's, people.
I'd say even if you like outside of that, if you have like a bit of a sensitivity to soap and cleaning products and things like that, I find our kids like don't get any reaction to his soap.
Ben started using it now as well.
Yeah.
He really likes it.
Whereas usually every other like cleaning product we tried with them, like they just react to, they get eczema. Whereas with this, they don't get any problems. So.
I guess there's probably an awful lot of soap products that have a lot of chemicals in them.
Yeah.
So, whereas this does seem like it's just oats and menthol stuff and just natural stuff, isn't it?
So, yeah, if you've got sensitive skin, get Mr. Bassett's Grappler. So you don't have to be a grappler either, but if you're not a grappler, why the fuck are you listening to this?
Exactly.
Fuck off.
Yeah, absolutely. We got an order from them somewhere.
It's coming. It's coming. Hopefully, it's coming today.
Okay.
And Rain clothing that are now expanding, I think, to selling. What's the MENA region?
MENA region.
MENA region.
Not sure.
Is it like the Middle East?
I'm not sure.
Middle East and North Asia, maybe.
Well, that acronym.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, that's what it is, people.
They're selling out there. I think they're going to be selling in Europe as well. So
okay.
Yeah, great designs, great ethically sourced.
Great people.
Yeah,
We've
just
done it
to support a lot of the industry in the UK. I just think they're a good company. So use them. Use the code Dadjitsu 10 for 10% off at purchase.
We've yet to. I'm sure some of you have seen the rash guard set we've got. We did say we were going to wear it on the pod, didn't we? Alas, mine always seems to be in the wash. But it's the pod.
Yeah, we will wear them, and they will be for sale. And I will create a payment link, and we'll create a date of when they're going to be available. You can pre-order to make sure you get one, and support the cause.
We said it before, they do look wicked. They look really cool.
Yeah.
And like all the race stuff, it just feels nice, it fits nice,
Yeah,
it's got all the right... You know when there's good... we've all worn cheaper rash guards, and you put it on, you're like, oh, this is a bit... It just feels different, doesn't it? It's like any kind of cheap clothing. You put it on, it's like the cut of this is weird. But they're just well made.
Yeah, they're good.
Garments of clothing, aren't they?
Yeah, so what I was going to say for that is that it's World Mental Health Day. It seems to always be World Mental Health Day.
What do you mean there's more than one a year? I thought it was...
I don't know.
Okay. And what do you have to say about World Mental Health Day?
I used to be a mental health nurse. When I first started doing jiu-jitsu, actually, I was a mental health nurse. It was fucking shit.
Oh, mate.
Sorry.
I can only imagine.
People would probably think I was going to say something really poignant, but... It
I
was
can well imagine. It's like
a fucking hard job.
shit show. I used to work on a colorectal ward. I was an untrained nurse, a healthcare support worker.
Yeah.
On a busy post-op surgical ward, and that was really hard.
Mm.
But sometimes the hardest parts of it were dealing with people that came from that had mental health issues, because we, there wasn't the wards area of expertise.
Mm.
Trying to manage that amongst 33 other patients who had all sorts of bowel cancer and things like that it's heavy work. So I can imagine just that being your main thing must have been hectic.
Yeah, it was very challenging work, obviously. It's a weird one with nursing. Like, I think in my early 20s, I was just sort of like coasting in life and just sort of, not even coasting really, just fucking around. Working in bars and restaurants and things like that, and just mostly just focused on just getting wasted and partying and things.
As is
Which is fine to a degree.
Yeah, in your 20s and the noughties, 90s.
I don't want my kids to do that. I don't know. I feel like I'll be a bit on them about that. But like, anyway, yeah, I was doing that. And then my mum saw this opportunity to go and do an apprenticeship in community justice. God, that sounds boring, doesn't it?
After that, it sounds like you're Batman.
That would have been way cooler. Fuck. Missed an opportunity.
Yeah, you should have done the night shift, mate.
Anyway. Basically, it came with like a placement. So most of it was a placement, and then you did like an MVQ in community justice. And my placement for, I think it was 3 years, it was run over, was in drug and alcohol recovery in the community. So that was a real eye opener.
Oh,
we basically, my role really was, alongside others, was running a methadone clinic.
Wow.
So people would come in and...
How old were you?
I think I probably started there when I was let's say I was around 25, give or take a year. So yeah, people would come in who were addicted to heroin, and we would have to do a urine sample, which would then straight away show us whether they'd used what drugs they'd been using, essentially. And I can't even really remember what the point of that was. Sometimes, because half of them would just be using anyway, so you'd be like, oh look, it says that you've been using heroin and coke and amphetamines, and they're like, yeah, but their prescription wouldn't really get stopped or anything. Sometimes it would. Depends on what was going on for them, whether they had criminal justice activity and things like that. Anyway, so we did that, and then the other sort of bit of the job was running a sort of pre-detox group, so residential detox, so going into rehab for a week or 2 weeks to detox off of alcohol or mostly alcohol. So we would kind of have a list of people who are waiting to go in, and they'd come in and do sort of groups where they talk about how shit their life was and stuff like that. And so running that, so it was real heavy, but it's real life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Totally. So you go from partying all the time and just sort of being quite self-obsessed to going to this and being
But in that way, it's probably, however harsh it is, it's probably, I hesitate to say a good thing for you because obviously you get a sense of how good your life is, if you like. But I remember those times when we'd have some crazy shit going on in the ward. So for us, it wasn't really mental health, but it was sort of drug-induced states. So we would get patients that have been on what's called the PCA, patient controlled analgesia, for too long. Normally retirement age people who were of that generation that had never done recreational drugs. They were pre-60s people.
Yeah.
And I'd do night shifts where either that or they'd had an epidural for too long, post-op, and they were just tripping out like mad, seeing spiders in the ceiling and stuff. And they'd go into this fight or flight and get up and start ripping all their cannula out and their
Yeah.
Catheter and that, and because I was often the only guy there,
Brutal.
I'd get sent in to try and sort them out and talk them down and
Yeah.
getting back from a shift like that, you must have been the same after doing stuff like that. You just get home, you like just stare at the wall for a bit, like fuck, like there is so many.
I used to smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah, same. I think it's probably partly like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, and I think doing that job made me realise that I was definitely fully addicted to smoking weed. Obviously, you don't get like a physical addiction, but there's a psychological dependency. Let's say that.
There's an escape, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's an escape from your normal life, for want of a better phrase. You know, it's an element of a coping mechanism that you get home. Maybe some people will crack a beer or whiskey or
it's
a way of getting home.
First thing I would do. Get through the door.
Yeah, totally. Because it's just like, let's just separate some of me from trying to absorb what's just happened today.
Yeah, when I started nursing, I sort of knocked the weed on the head. And I think like I would just get home and just like sit in front of the TV or like switch on the PlayStation or whatever. Yeah. And I think that like that experience of getting home and just being like, I need to not talk to anyone. I just want to have silence. Like that's what like really made me realise that I needed to stop nursing. Because I was like, I was in a relationship, like I was with Sevilla, my wife, and I was just like, I can't be like this, like when we've got kids.
No.
Like this is not going to be all right because they're not going to be like, oh yeah, Daddy needs some quiet time.
Yeah.
Like now, like I imagine the kids being like, oh yeah, no, give taste. Like that's not.
And also
like jumping all over you.
Yeah, like, kids that you've got and like I've got, they don't understand the word, the concept of space and quiet.
No. So. Yeah, that really like made me think like I need to do something different, and I think at the time when I was feeling like that, I was probably borderline like depressed and like and had like an anxiety disorder. Certainly chronically stressed.
Yeah.
And you could say chronic stress, I suppose, is like a mental health problem, really, isn't it?
Even if it's temporary, you're still going through it, aren't you?
But then I was working in a home treatment team in Sutton, which is like a mixture of like Surrey.
As in London? Okay.
Yeah, like which is sort of sort of posh mixture of like places like Cheam are like really posh, like private roads and like
gated estates and whatnot.
Yeah, and we go and visit people in those sort of houses. But then you go into like a place called St Helier, which was like just a Lee Park sort of style council estate, and it was like rough. You know? So it was a mixture. It was a bit like Portsmouth, I suppose, a bit of a mixture.
Integrated society.
Yeah, and we go and visit people at home, and our whole job was keeping people in the community. Really, it was gatekeeping the wards. So we would admit people to the ward, but really our job was to keep people in the community.
Right.
And not admit them because they were just so oversaturated.
Okay.
So that was very challenging because there'd be people where you'd be like, for my own sanity, I just want to admit you to the ward because you're risky. You're saying you're going to kill yourself. Let's say that. And you'd finish work at like 9, and you've seen fucking Jimmy, who's saying he's going to kill himself, and you're like, let's just see how we go tonight. You know, and just have some meds, and we'll see you tomorrow. Like, you leave me, I'm going to kill myself. And you're sort of balancing this risk, and you're like, he said this like literally 1,000 times, like he's not going to kill himself. But when you leave someone like that, there's always that stress of like, he's saying, no, but I'm really going to do it this time, and you're like, he's probably not. Like, but you're driving home and you've written have I written the notes well enough? Have I like absolved myself of responsibility in the way that I've written my notes and shown that I've done the right thing and informed the right people and made the right decision? So you're stressed like out, like driving home. You know,
because if he's found tomorrow dead and the shit hits the fan and you haven't ticked the box in,
which happens, that happens,
of course,
like all the time, not all the time, but like it happens regularly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so you've got to have ticked all the boxes. It's fucking stressful. And I remember like because we were like the home treatment team, a lot of the people we would see as, you know, the example of Jimmy, like he's like your chronic service user. Like, that's fine. But then you'd also see people where it was their first and probably only contact they were ever going to have with mental health services, and they were literally at the worst point in their life.
They've had a bereavement or
whatever. Yeah, but what I noticed that the running theme was there was something going wrong in their life, and they didn't kind of change the way they were dealing with it. They didn't try and like pivot. They didn't think, fuck, what I'm doing now isn't right. I need to change. My job is shit. Like, I need to get a different job. My relationship isn't working. Maybe I should think about ending the relationship. You know, this drug problem is fucking me up. Maybe I need to stop taking drugs. Whatever it is, something was happening that they just refused to address, and then they got mentally unwell, and then, you know, whatever happens. Yeah. And I was sort of reflecting on my life, thinking like, I'm not good. Like, this could happen to me. All these people, none of them thought it was going to happen to them. They're just normal people, regular people, just going about their business. And then suddenly they have a breakdown. They start hearing voices. They start getting obsessive about whatever, and they get like really bad OCD or whatever. Their mood goes really low. They try and kill themselves, whatever. None of them thought that was going to happen, and then it did. And usually it was because there was something going on in their life that they didn't address. They just sort of thought, oh, it'll be all right. And I was like, and I'm a bit prone to that. And so I was like, fuck, I need to like change. And then I'm thinking like, what is it like that I need to change? And I was like, I need to change my job.
That's the job.
This is the most stressful thing in my life. This is the thing that is like really causing me stress. And I remember going to training that night, probably a blue belt or like 4-stripe white belt or something, and looking at my coaches and just being like, man, you guys are just living the dream. I'm just like, you guys have just been here. Like,
talking
taught
about
a lunchtime class, you like lifted weights in the gym, and then you just sort of been sat around, and now you're doing the evening class, you do a bit of training, you're like practicing moves.
No trauma at any point.
Yeah, no one's tried to hit you. Well, maybe they did, but like you were trying to hit them as well. Like, no one told you you're a fucking cunt. No one came in and said you weren't doing a good job. Like, you had no like politics or and all of this is slightly naive, obviously, like, because everyone's got their own shit that's going on. But like, essentially, like,
but when you're frontline like that, man.
And they were living that life. Because I live that life now. And although it comes with its own difficulties and hardships, like, I'm living the fucking dream compared to where I was.
Totally, but I think it's that first experience of the job you had that enables you to have that perspective.
Yeah. If you haven't had the bad experience, then when you're living the good life, like, you don't even realise it.
100%. Like, I had that when I went to music college. Like, I was an older student, and I'd done a million shit jobs leading up to, you know, not all of them shit, but hard jobs. You know, the working at the hospital on the wards was hard. We were doing 14-hour days, and it was just graft. And there was always, like, you know, someone was crashing, saw some right fucking sights on there, you know, of horrendous things happening, you know, wound problems and just, you know, dealing with dead bodies and families and just, you know, stress and a lot of, you know, stuff as you described. So then constantly, when I went to music college, I was like, this is fucking amazing. Like, I'm learning to do music, and I'm turning music into a career. And then you get these 17-year-old kids who come in, they've gone school, college, uni, and they'd turn up late, they'd fuck it off, they'd never do their stuff at work. And it was like, this is a golden opportunity. No idea. And I think that enables you to have that perspective. And I think there's even people our age that have never had like hardship. They've never like done a job that they have to do because there's no other choice, or they've gone through the mill like that, and then they've found their way, and they've got rid of the job that was stressing them out or was really bad for them, or whatever. They've changed their life, and they've got to that point where it's like, I'm happy now. I'm doing what I love, or whatever. You know, I'm in a happier place in my life, and I can see that I'm happy because of what happened prior. What's led to it. I think that there's a lot of people that just kind of coast through, and like we said before, that struggle is important in life, isn't it? Sometimes.
It is, isn't it? It's sort of like a weird sort of irony, though, isn't it? That you have to be happy, to be content, like you have to struggle. You have to go through bits where you're not essentially happy.
You have to know what struggle is. And I think even in daily life, it's, you know, it's just, there are elements of struggle with the kids, and you know.
I That's easy to see.
Yeah, parenting's easy. I think I'm just doing it wrong.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's important to have that struggle. Just to make a point that's going on. Yeah, I think it gives you that perspective. It keeps your feet on the ground. I'm happy. I don't have any regrets about any of the jobs I did prior, because I feel like I can always look back at them and think, well, yeah, this is tricky at the moment, but I've been in much worse spots in my life. That's what I was going to say. I think frontline roles, like the, police on the beat. Roles like that could be a mental health nurse. Frontline stuff. Unless you are someone that can easily compartmentalise that and come home and just shut off, like, right, I'm at home now. I know I'm not that. I don't think you are either. You just come home and just be like, and like my wife isn't either. She just, it's very difficult when you like, what would you call like a high empath sort of thing. When you just, it's difficult to not take this stuff in, and I would always be like that. I don't think people like that, they've got a very short shelf life on these frontline roles because it just swallows you up. Whereas I think, so for example, I was watching a program years ago about I think it was in Kent, and it was the department of the police force in that area that dealt primarily with paedophilia. Imagine getting up every day and going and doing that, right? And the guy was, and they're looking at videos, all this horrendous stuff, and they were like, "How do you deal with it?" It was like, honestly, you just develop a really dark sense of humour, and you just find a way of compartmentalising it in a healthy way.
You are right, and you have to, because that's your life.
Yeah.
But you're not dealing with it.
You're pushing it down, sort of thing.
Like I think it took me about like 2-ish years to like heal my relationship with the world, the people in the world.
Yeah.
Because when you're dealing with like people at their worst, and you're regularly coming into contact with people who, terrible things have happened to them, or people who are doing terrible things to other people and things like that, you see people in a bad light.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you see danger, you see all the bad things in the world, like you see them regularly, and that's the way you look at the world.
I guess you get normalised to it, don't you?
Yeah. So you have to be out of that for a long time to sort of like then start seeing the best in people and seeing and being a bit more, what some people might think as being a bit more naive and like, it'll be fine, there won't be any problems there. Whereas when you're surrounded by it, like you can't be like that. Like you can't be like, oh yeah, I'll just let my kids play out the front. Yeah, there's probably a fucking paedophile.
So you're
whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
mate, totally.
I heard about someone who got this, that, and the other, and I worked with a guy, and when he was young, this happened to it. Do you know what I mean? But you're seeing the worst of humanity. You're meeting the people who those terrible things have happened to, and then that's had a knock-on effect later down the line, or all those people that are doing terrible things to other people. Like, but those are like a tiny percentage of the population. But it just so happens that the work you're doing brings you into contact with them.
Yeah, and I think in that sense, to a degree, ignorance is bliss.
It is 100%. Because now, like, obviously anything can happen at any time. But like now, I let the kids play out the front, and I'm like, mate, I've got the window open, I can see what they're doing. They're fine.
Yeah, I think it's
I'll hear a big shout if they need me. Like I tell them what to do, come in and get me.
Yeah,
like they're fine.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't have been like that when I went this. It took me like a good couple of years to like heal that view on the world.
Yeah, I've got a really good friend of mine who's a policeman, and every time I see him. I do gigs with him as well. He's a musician as well. Every time I do gigs with him, he's got some fucking horror stories. And he's got 2 little kids, and I'm like, it's probably that. He's going to be a lot more twitched about letting his kids out. Without going into loads of details of horrible stories, just kind of stories where it's just like, fucking hell, like, and he's just like, got to do what you got to do. Sort of thing.
But you're not okay. This is the thing.
No.
Like, yes, some people can compartmentalise it, but they're not okay. And like,
you're still a human, aren't you?
I think the thing that really drives, I think if you're going to work in frontline industries, it's not that you're good at compartmentalising, it's that your passion supersedes the negative impact that it has on you.
The passion of wanting to make a difference.
That's
and do
the thing,
right
that
thing
needs to be there. Like, you need to be so passionate that you're like, it's fucking me up, but like, these people need help, and that's more important than my own health. That's the key.
Yeah.
And when I realised I didn't have that, and everyone I was surrounded by in the nursing profession kind of had that, I just felt like I was letting down my co-workers, and I was like, I need to leave. Because I'm not going to be able to step up. Yeah. I'm not like, I'm letting them down, I need to do a better job. I'm like, no, I'm letting them down, I need to go. Yeah. Because it's not going to get any better, it's just going to get worse.
And that's no failing of yours. That's the fact that you recognise that and made that change is that's to your credit, really.
Yeah, I mean, I for the last 6 months of my nursing career, I just sort of took the piss, really. I was leaving early, getting my work done. There wasn't really enough work to do. So I wasn't seeking out other work. And, the culture was like, if you finish your work, go and help out some other people. Yeah. But I'm like, I just want to write programs for people that are doing exercise and stuff. Like, my head had been turned. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I had the same experience.
I didn't deal with that well. I should have recognised that earlier and been like, I'm leaving. But it is what it is. I don't regret it per se, but
but then also a decision like that is a big upheaval, isn't it?
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to just suddenly one day be like, I'm done, bye. It takes a while to bleed into your conscious mind, doesn't it? And for you to fully make that decision of like, I'm done.
It's difficult.
It's difficult, yeah. But I mean,
you've got to look after your mental health.
Yeah,
that's the key. You've got to sort of
especially when you're in a position where you are dealing with vulnerable people, you've got to be okay.
Yeah,
because you're the one kind of controlling things in that sense, aren't you? I mean, some of the best nurses I worked with were exactly what you described. They could just deal with shit all day long, but they just gave a massive shit about little Doris.
Yeah.
Or who's in their little cubicle where there's people trying to. People are just trying to stab you with the scissors and throw things at you because they think they're trying to kill you because they're tripping out. You just deal with that, then you go and look after so and so because you just those kind of people. They're just the angels in life, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? But as you say, there's probably underneath all of that, there's probably an awful lot of mental damage that they're just having to deal with every day.
Big time. Mental health nurses, I think they were sort of in a poll or in a bit of research, they were found to be the most unhealthy profession.
Really?
Smoking, drinking, overweight, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. And also, the one thing I noticed very quickly with nurses, they've all got, again, they've all got very dark senses of humour. And like I said, they love to party because they've just got to relieve the pressure somehow, haven't they?
Jiu-Jitsu for me, in the last... I think I started doing Jiu-Jitsu roughly around the time that I started nursing, so obviously I was a sport worker before that, but then...
Oh, right.
Once I qualified to be a nurse, that's roughly around the same time that I started doing Jiu-Jitsu. Which is mental. I was writing something down the other day, and I realised, I started work... I was probably in my mid-20s, so, about 20 years ago, I started working for the NHS.
Right.
Something like that, so... Yeah. And obviously I haven't been doing it for it's probably been about 8 years since I last nursed or something like that.
So hang on, so 20 years ago, so 2005.
I don't know if it was then, but around that.
So and you were, where did you start working in mental health stuff to start with?
In substance misuse.
Okay.
When I was a support worker, and then I trained in the local mental health hospitals, and then worked in Hampshire.
Right.
In an inpatient ward.
That's
and then moved to Sutton. Well, we were living in Guildford.
Yeah.
Worked in Sutton, and then moved back. But yeah, Jiu-Jitsu definitely got me through my last 5 or so years.
More testament to the fact that it's therapy.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is until it isn't.
What, Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah. I think it can be a really good, because very rarely will I go in, feel like shit, have a session, and then feel like shit when I leave.
Yeah.
Usually I feel pretty good when I leave.
Yeah, same.
But you could probably make the argument that, it's because you've just been heavily distracted. Because the problems that you were thinking about when you went in, you're probably still there and are still present. So I feel like, there's a big thing, isn't there? Jiu-Jitsu therapy. It's yeah, it is. But, sometimes you actually just also need to go and do therapy. Because Jiu-Jitsu isn't working your problems out.
No, but it's probably working.
It's helping you manage them.
Yeah.
It's helping you manage those feelings, if you like, and at least it's some mindfulness for an hour.
That's exactly what I get from it. I step on the mat, and my head just goes quiet for a bit.
But sometimes, but that's mindfulness. But it's also a distraction because
of course.
You're not sitting with your feelings. Mindfulness is sitting with your feelings. So if you're feeling like shit, it's not trying to escape that
You're feeling it. You're
by
going through
doing
it.
something.
Yeah.
It's allowing yourself to feel like shit and being like, this is okay, because it's like a natural response to like whatever's going on. And you might need to actually talk through some stuff with someone. Like, but jiu-jitsu isn't actually doing that.
It's giving your brain a break, though. That's what I like about it. There's
Yeah,
certain
but then
pursuits.
smoking weed's giving your brain a break.
I don't know. That just sent my brain into overdrive.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Your normal state a break. But I feel like jiu-jitsu is you take a break from all of those thoughts and insecurities and all those things from your past and blah blah. It's just you're focusing on.
You are.
jiu-jitsu.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing necessarily, but I'm saying maybe some people might use it to ignore their problems.
Yeah, to get
as
away
well.
from it. Yeah, there is that. I think it has its place. It's like a lot of pursuits. I find surfing, in a way, is similar because it's very singular. You just you and the board, and you just got like you're not thinking about your tax or your and again your insecurities or anything. You're just thinking just gotta stick on the board.
I think there's other things going on there as well, aren't there? In both of those examples, I think there are other things going on that we don't fully appreciate and don't fully understand. I think we'll do surfing and then we'll come back to jiu-jitsu because we're talking about jiu-jitsu. But I think like surfing, like being in the water, like and riding the waves and like being in nature to that degree where you're essentially being overwhelmed by nature.
You're at the mercy of nature.
Yeah, like there's something
you're surrendering
going on there, like,
and also the
that's
slow
so
pulse.
Good for you.
Yeah, the slow pulse of the waves.
You're literally like riding the rhythm of the world.
Yeah,
like it's very woo, but
are you sure you don't smoke weed anymore? Oh God, I feel like
but you are literally riding the rhythm of the world.
Yeah, I feel
it. There's got to be something that's going on that we don't understand, but like you're tapping into something very like,
and also
animalistic. Not even animalistic, but like
primal,
bigger than you.
Yeah, there is. I think there's a lot of different ways of like my brother-in-law loves to go on big long walks up in the lakes. And I think it's a similar thing. He says like I just love going places where I just feel totally insignificant in this big wide expanse.
Nature,
just little old me. Yeah, and I think there's something again primal about. You know, if you go, this is what I love going. One of the reasons I love going to the beach. You get on there and you see the whole horizon. You're like, wow, it makes you feel good. It's the same thing if you go up the top of like a hill or a mountain. And you look on the big expanse of land. There's something primal that maybe makes you feel. I'm not going to get attacked because I'll see something coming from miles away, and it sets up your the right kind of mindset. Whereas doing this on your phone, it has because what do you do primarily when something's coming at you? You get tunnel vision, don't you? So you focus in on a small point like your phone. So I think that might be where a lot of anxiety from over phone use comes from.
Probably a factor.
Yeah, but I found just going back to the surfing thing, I think it's this slow rhythm of the waves. It just slows your rhythm down. You know, I think it's so easy to just be like going through life. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can't speed these waves up. I'm just going to sit and wait.
Yeah, and you're just looking at the horizon.
Yeah, and it's not up to me how good that wave is. You know, I'm just going to go with it.
There's a lot of good stuff there. And I think it's the same with jiu-jitsu, like we were talking about this the other day. Bear with. When you're in your relationship with your significant other, you have sex, coitus.
Yes.
Agreed. And there's like a physical like coming together.
If you play your cards right, it's only happened twice in 25 years.
It's not just the act of like potentially making a child. It's that there's that physical like you're like embracing and you're close and you're with that person. You're sharing something that probably we don't understand.
Yeah.
Like that also happens in jiu-jitsu. Obviously, you're not having sex, but you are as close as you can possibly be without entering that other person. Yeah. I mean, maybe you're entering the legs.
Well,
sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you're an oil check fan, then
that's true. That could happen. Yeah. But you are literally as close as you can be. You're making physical contact in like a really like intimate way, and I think that sharing repeatedly, like with lots of different partners. I think it does something on a level we don't understand.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, like just to sort of like within those people, like bringing you closer together, like in your relationship sort of thing. But I think you're swapping some atoms, or I don't understand like what it is, but it's important. And I feel like it's something. So to go back to my mental health days, we had this one guy he had to be managed in isolation, so like in just a room, literally a padded cell essentially. Wow. And he just couldn't be let out because every time he'd go in, try and give him meds, he'd attack someone, and we just couldn't manage him. So he ended up going to like a medium secure unit in the end. But yeah, he couldn't. He was there for like, I can't remember how long, but it might have been like weeks, like it might have even been like a month or longer, sort of thing. And what they realised after a while is that every time someone went in to give him food or meds or whatever, he'd attack them because he needed physical contact. Yeah. He'd been starved of any sort of contact with anyone, so his only way of actually making physical contact was just to get in a fight with them.
That's so cruelly ironic.
Yeah, but yeah, it is. But it's like the other end of what we're talking about. Like if you're starved of physical contact, like humans need to make contact with each other. Yeah. They need to. Do you know what I mean? They need that closeness.
I think I read somewhere about that because of how we interpret the world, everything we experience is like a split second behind when it actually happens because of our distance to it. Right. The only time when you're truly both in the same moment together is when you're having a hug because you're both right there. Yeah, yeah. And I think being jiu-jitsu people, we experience that on the regular, and it is a different kind of connection. It is. Yeah. Like, and we've joked about it before. The amount of times like you've had another person's hair in your mouth before you even know what their name is, or you know what their hair smells like, or whatever. Yeah, you know, it's all jokes, but it's true. So another example on the other side of that. So there's a good friend of mine who in recent years started doing jiu-jitsu, got his blue belt, and we were quit. Yeah, obviously, and we were on a bunch of gigs when we were away somewhere and abroad, and we had a bit of time to go in the gym and do a bit of rolling. And I'm really good friends with this guy. I hug him all the time. You know, we'd be very close people. And then when we had a roll, just for the first couple of minutes, it was a little bit awkward because it's like I'm really close with you, but I haven't met you on that level yet.
You've not breached.
Yeah, it felt like a little barrier. After a couple of minutes, it was fine, but it was like. And you often get that with people you first meet, don't you? If you meet them in the gym and you sort of get going, you slap hands and and there's that little awkward moment of like, ooh, and you start chatting and then you're into it and then it's fine. But there is that little thing of like there's a little barrier there, and again, we don't fully understand what that is. Yeah, yeah. But I think that's partly why, as we're all huggy, touchy people, aren't we? We all hug each other and we're like, yeah, man, So I think probably more than other pursuits. Yeah. I think it's because of that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, because but then people just hug anyway, don't they? Like, we hug to say I'm sorry. We hug to say I'm hello. We hug to say goodbye. Like, we hug. Like, if someone feels bad, you need a hug. Yeah. Do you need a hug? Yeah, like, yeah, totally. Like, yeah. So then there's we're saying you're not feeling good. Let's have some physical contact to try and make you feel better. Yeah. That it just describes it completely there, doesn't it? Totally. Right. So jiu-jitsu, I feel like, as much as yes, it's not therapy, but I think it does something on a different level that we don't fully understand. Yeah. That heals you in some way. You know. Yeah, I think jiu-jitsu itself, it has therapeutic benefits. But I think part of it, certainly I'm sure for a lot of people too, is it's the sense of community. It's the. Like I said before, it's almost like when you go to your gym, it's almost like going to church, where everyone knows your name, sort of thing. You're all hanging out and you're all just chatting, and you've been doing it for long enough. There's that, but the actual act of jiu-jitsu, it has therapeutic benefits.
I think we were saying, we were saying jiu-jitsu weeds out the wrong uns, weeds over time. Yeah. Wrong uns, obviously not always. No, there are wrong uns who are black belts and whatever, but. If you spend enough time in a jiu-jitsu club for 10 years, you'll see that as long as your club is full of good moral fibre, the wrong and slowly get weeded out. And I was saying I feel just the physical act of getting hold of someone exposes someone. Yeah, definitely. And so you can feel a bit about them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And how they cope with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's say you go and just repeatedly tap someone and they get more and more angry. You think that doesn't reflect well on that person. Why is that happening?
We've all rolled with a broy white belt who's trying to out-strength you. Yeah.
Or you roll with someone and you're a black belt and they're a white belt and you you maul them or whatever, and they're, oh my god, that's so good. You think, yeah, whatever. And then you see them and they roll with someone who's like a bit less experienced than them and smaller, and they just manhandle them and they just go wild, and you think it doesn't reflect well.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like the physicality of the sport sort of it speaks of the person, I think.
It does. It exposes you and warts and all, doesn't it?
Mm.
That was what you just described was my first ever mat enforcement.
And that's it.
When you said to me, you led to, you're like, can you go and show that guy a couple of things?
Yeah,
He's been tooling up all the little white belts. It's like, yeah, okay, it's
and we might have done
necessary.
that. Do you know what I mean? I might have been that person.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like, again, what speaks of your character is like, are you always going to make those mistakes and like do that thing, or do you slowly sort of learn and then like feel like you learn the way a little bit and you stop.
Yeah, with that you said, we could well have been that guy, but we probably would have been enforced as well. It would have been whoever.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll that? Yeah, not even realise, but that guy went hard at me. It's like, there's a reason for that, sort of thing. I think that's really important. It's a harsh lesson, but I think it keeps things pure in a way, doesn't it? It's like there's no space for bullies here.
No.
You know, A, because it's not acceptable, first and foremost, of course. B, because there's always going to be someone bigger and stronger, and they're going to bully you harder. Yeah, I mean, it happens, in my experience, I'm not saying this is always the case, but in my experience it happens less in the grappling that I've done, in Jiu-Jitsu than striking sports. I don't know whether just because of who it sort of attracts, and I'm not saying that there's a lot of people that have experienced it in striking that have been like that, but there's been a couple more kind of...
I think it might be the physicality. I think the closeness.
That and it's...
Because you don't get that in striking.
No, and also that and the fact that anyone that comes in off the street and goes into a kickboxing class can kind of throw a punch to a degree, and certainly think they can throw a punch more. You know, like we said a million times, Jiu-Jitsu is all alien. When you first start, it's like I don't understand this at all. Any element, so you have to be a fish out of water from the start, don't you?
Yeah.
I'll never forget my first couple of classes. It was just me and this fella called Grant.
I remember Grant. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
Smaller guy.
No, different Grant. He was only there for a very short time.
Okay.
He was bigger than me, and we're both white belts. We both just went at it, like absolute spazzes. And so much so that he got told off by Tyrone a couple of times. Tyrone was purple belt at the time, and I think he'd elbowed him in the face one too many times. Tyrone was literally just like, mate, you need to chill out. Like, and this grandfellow was like kicking off at Tyrone, and the whole class stopped. It was just like, you've done that one too many times now, man. You need to chill out. Stop. Just calm down. He's, and then we never saw him again. So that's one of two things that happens, isn't it? You either kind of toe the line as far as not spazzing out as much, or you can't handle that and you leave.
Yeah. You
know. So either way, that behaviour gets weeded out one way or the other, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. Crazy. But yeah.
Yeah.
Should we call it there?
Yeah.
So we've reached a natural end, haven't we?
Finish my sandwich.
Yeah. We've still got to crack into that bake.
We have. Cherry Blondie Bakewell. Cherry Bakewell Blondie?
Sounds awful.
Yeah.
Let's definitely not eat that.
We've got a good episode coming up. Not that this wasn't a good episode.
We've got a momentous occasion.
Yes, we've been podcasting for a year.
Dadjitsu's a year old.
What's my name? He's walking and everything. So we might do like the Halloween episode
as the year. Oh, time in.
So I feel like we need to come in fancy dress.
Oh, definitely.
Ghost stories. Obviously, nothing to do with Jiu-Jitsu.
No. We've got a few as well.
Yeah.
Mate, if I can wear a fucking gorilla mask for an entire episode, just for the sake of episode 21, we can definitely dress up.
So we'll do
a bit of dress up.
Bit of dress up, mate. And ghost stories and celebrate our year anniversary. If anyone wants to buy us a fantastic lunch,
oh come on,
to eat during that episode, and you'll get a shout out.
Yeah,
you'll be famous.
You literally have your 50 minutes of fame.
Then just put a message in the comments. Yeah. We'll send you the deets.
Boom. See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Alright guys, let's bow there and then we'll call it a day.